I have chained 178 stitches, 178 chains. And that is how I start this shawl. So next I'm going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. There we go. Then I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to skip just 1 chain and then double crochet 3 together. You'll notice I'm using the bottom bumps of these chains to stitch into. I just find it easier to work into those, and it also gives a nicer edge. So I'm skipping 1 chain and I'm going to double crochet 3 together after that. So I yarn over, I skip 1 chain, and then I double crochet 3 together. So there is 1, yarn over, 2, and 3. Okay, so now I have my 3 partial double crochets, and I'm going to bring them all together. There's my double crochet 3 together. Now I need to skip 1 and chain 3. So I need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me pull some more yarn out here so it doesn't tug on my work. Since we're using a hook a little bit larger than what our yarn recommends, in order to get a nice loose look, it's important that we don't pull too much and ruin that nice loose look by pulling our gauge really tight. So I chained 3, now we're going to skip 1 and single crochet into the next. So skipping 1, single crochet into the next. Right, and then here, let me get that, there we go. First row is always the hardest. Now here is where our repeat section starts. We chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We skip 3 and single crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next stitch. Now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1, double crochet 3 together. So we skip 1, and then we're going to double crochet 3 together. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and together. Now we chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, skip 1, and then single crochet into the next. And that is our repeat. So let me show you that repeat one more time. We chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next stitch, maybe. There we go. And then we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 1, and double crochet 3 together. So there's the one we skipped. 1, 2, and 3. Get those together. Chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Skip 1 and single crochet into the next stitch. And you just keep repeating that repeat section until you get all the way to the end. Your last single crochet should be in your last chain. Okay, so here we go. You can kind of see what it looks like. Let me actually turn it around so it's kind of right side up for you. Okay, you'll have a bunch of these on repeat. Row 2 is the first of our 2 repeat rows. So we are doing row 2 and 3, and then we're just going to keep on repeating rows 2 and 3 until we get down to only 1 leaf. So for row 2, we begin by slip stitching into the first 2 chains. So you see here's 1, 2 chains. To slip stitch into them, we're going to put our hook in between the bottom bump and the top 2 loops. So right here. Then yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on your hook. There's my slip stitch. Do that again. I'm going to insert my hook into my chain, yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on the hook. That is all that took. Now I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to single crochet into the top of the double crochet 3 together. You see our double crochet 3 together? Here is the top of it. So right there. That loop is the top of our double crochet 3 together. We are going to single crochet into it. Now this is where our repeats for row 2 begin. We are now going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place a bead. So we remove our regular hook. We grab this tiny steel hook. I have a 0.75 millimeter. I am putting that tiny steel hook into this bead, put the loop on the hook, and then slide the bead off the hook and onto the loop. Now I'm putting my regular crochet hook back into the loop, and I'm going to chain 1 more. Now I'm going to put 5 double crochet into the middle chain of this chain 5 space. So there's 1, 2, 3. Here's my 3rd chain. And I'm going to put 5 double crochet in that 3rd chain. So I'm working into it. You see, I put my hook in between the bottom loop and the top 2 loops, the bottom bump and the top 2 loops, so that I'm actually working into the 3rd chain, not just around the space. And 5, and now I'm going to put another bead. Got the bead on my steel hook, I grab my loop, I slide that bead off the hook and onto the loop, remove the steel hook, put the regular hook back on, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now another bead. Okay, grab my loop, slide my bead, put the hook back on the loop, and now I'm going to single crochet into the top of the next double crochet 3 together. And that is the end of my repeat. Let's do that repeat one more time. So we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add a bead. Put our hook back in. Chain 1 more, then make 5 double crochet into the 3rd chain of the chain 5 space. So we're going into the middle 3rd chain of the chain 5 space, and we're putting in 5 double crochet. Now we're going to put on another bead. Maybe, there we go. And chain 5. Put on 1 more bead. And single crochet into the top of the double crochet 3 together. And there's the end of that repeat. You're going to keep on doing that repeat all the way across until you have placed a single crochet into the top of the very last double crochet 2 together of the previous row. Once we put our single crochet into the top of this very last double crochet 3 together of the previous row, You know that this row is done, and you will move on to the next one. Before I begin row 3, I just want to give a little note on row 2. When you're finishing up row 2, do not put a bead on the end of the very last repeat. So there's normally a bead right here before I do that single crochet. It's not necessary. It'll end up getting covered up when you put the border on anyway. So don't bother putting on that very last bead. Save yourself the time and the beads. All right, so then you're going to turn your work. And for row 3, you're going to slip stitch into the first 2 chains, which we've done before, so you should know how to do this by now. Of course, if your chains are tight, it becomes kind of difficult. 1 and 2. Okay, we slip stitched into the first 2 chains. Now we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and single crochet into the next stitch. So we're skipping this one and we're single crocheting into the next chain. So again, I kind of need to actually get in between the bottom bump and the top 2 loops, and I'm making a single crochet. Now we're going to chain 3 and skip 1 of the double crochets. So chain 1, 2, 3, and now we have these 5 double crochet. We're going to skip the first one and double crochet 3 together. Okay, so it's really easy to find these 5 because there's a bead on the stitch on either side of it. See, there's a bead on this loop and a bead on this loop, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches with no beads. We're going to double crochet 3 together, the middle 3. So we're skipping the first one with no bead, and we're double crocheting 3 together the next 3. So I yarn over, insert my hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert the hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Then I yarn over again, insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I have 3 bottom halves of double crochets, 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through everything, and I have double crocheted 3 together. Okay, now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and single crochet into the second chain of the chain 5 space. The first chain has a bead on it, so we're going to single crochet into the chain after the beaded chain. So these beads are working really well as stitch markers. All right, gotta love that, right? It's a built-in stitch marker on this pattern. Always a nice thing. Okay, now is where we begin our repeat for all of row 3. You are going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet into the 4th chain of the next chain 5 space. So we've already done this chain 5 space. We're going to this chain 5 space and we're single crocheting into the 4th chain. Again, that will be the loop right before the bead. All right, there we go, the loop right before the bead. So let me show you that again. See how the bead is on this loop right here? See that? We're going to single crochet into the loop right before that bead. Okay, there you go, pretty easy. Now we're going to chain 3, and then once again we're going to do the 3 double crochet into the middle 3, the double crochet 3 together into the middle 3 of these 5 double crochets. So we skip the first double crochet and then we double crochet 3 together. So just like we had done a moment before, same idea. There we go. We did our double crochet 3 together. Now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we single crochet into the second chain of the next chain 5 space. So again, there's a bead on the first chain and we single crochet into the second one. There we go. Now you're going to continue with that repeat all the way across, and you will know you are done when you place that single crochet just after the very last bead, just after this bead right here, and you'll realize that you can't really go on, because if you did, you'd be going on the side.